I've filmed this video like 3 times already, so I'm going to give you like a quick breakdown. That way I can finally finish this video because I've done it 3 times and each time I get off topic. So let's do this quickly. If Save the World is gonna go free soon, or free to play, and if you're starting out, you're going to do the tutorial and you're gonna have a lot of questions. So this video is going to try and kind of like compress everything you need to know. First thing you want to do is once you're here, you're probably going to be here on the quest map or somewhere. First thing you want to do, go to command, go to survivors, go to manage. Oh, not manage. Go to squads and turn this option off. You can leave it on. Okay, you don't have to listen to me. I'm only 130. But you can turn this off whenever you get the chance and start managing your survivors. Now, it's not going to look like this. Okay, it's not going to look like this at the beginning. It's a slow job. But start collecting mythic survivors. And again, if you're starting out the game right now, you're not going to really see these. This is more like towards canny, which is like the third section of the game. But if you're just starting out, start collecting these. Don't start scrapping them. If you have any legendary, keep them, because after a bit you're going to start collecting them and you're going to have to put them into squads so that you can raise your power level so that you can access missions that you couldn't before. As you progress through the game, you're going to be able to, your power level will be able to dedicate which missions you can play. So start collecting survivors. Another thing, when it comes to your weapons, don't worry about them. Legitimately, just use whatever you want to do. Use whatever you want in the first sections of the game. Any weapon works. Even the freaking green ones work. Even the ones you pick off the ground from chests and loot, they work, right? Once you get like late canny is when you got to start worrying about your weapons. More towards like here, yeah. Once you get to like power level 58, then you can start worrying about what's in your loadout. Everything beforehand, take it easy, man. Just use whatever gun rings to you, whatever melee weapon or sword or shotgun, whatever rings to you true, use it. Take whatever gun you like, start upgrading it. Literally any gun you like. There's this bolt action sniper rifle that I have. Yeah, this guy still does good, like in Twine. Yeah, just focus on getting through the campaign because you're going to get a lot of schematics and a lot of um, survivors from that. You're also going to get a lot of heroes, and by playing the campaign, you're going to be playing more missions, and you'll start collecting stuff as you go on. Don't forget about traps. Traps are your best friend whenever it comes to defending your objective. This thing shocks people in an area. That thing does massive damage to one target. That thing drops physic entities that roll down hills. It's a lot. I'm not going to explain everything to you, but maybe in another video I will. For now, just understand that traps are your best friend, especially this guy. This guy's cheap, extremely cheap, and really good for dealing massive damage. Place 3 of them in a layer and watch everything disappear, just as they walk up to you. 3 rows of these things, and a lot of things die before they even make it to you. When it comes to your gadgets, use the banner. Banner is almost a given whenever you're playing constructor or you're playing defense, as this thing heals structures in area. You can read this. It increases building health to 250% for 45 seconds, creates a shockwave that deals damage in a 1.5 tile radius, and it acts as a respawn point. That sounds badass! And it is. It is extremely useful, so make sure you don't forget about it. When it comes to the hover turret can also be pretty good early game. Towards the late game, you start running more of banner, slow field, prox mine, or airstrike. These 4 are kind of like the main, like the horsemen of the apocalypse. You're still new. Your brain is ripe for learning, so I want you to observe these next words because I'm going to regurgitate whatever I just said so you can learn this. Start collecting survivors. use whatever weapon you want to use. Once you get to Canny Valley, then you can start worrying about things. Oh, right, this chart. This chart is going to be your best friend. You, like, even if you're new, it's good to start memorizing this chart now. So go ahead, look at it. Look at it in all its glory and learn what it could possibly entail. It's a simple chart that tells you how element types affect certain things. For example, Nature Husk does 200% damage to metal. So every husk is basically 2 husk whenever it's an electric husk. So husk, 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 husk. Lots of words, right?
Need to get some action.
This is a gun, right? And this are elements. Depending on what enemy you're fighting, these are pretty helpful. Now, if you use energy, you'll never have to worry about this. But I will say the benefit of using these is you deal even more damage to that one enemy. Elemental will always be the more powerful option as it does 75% of damage to any enemy type. But if you're fighting, let's say, a water elemental husk and you're using a nature weapon, you'll do more damage. You'll do more than 75% damage. So let me go ahead and take a remember the chart, start collecting schematics and guns that you do like. Don't forget to upgrade them. Don't forget traps as they are your best friend. And work on your hero loadout. So this is another thing. Once you get to a certain point in the game, your hero loadout is going to become a huge part of how good you are to your team. For example, I'm going to show my Ice King loadout. My Ice King loadout freezes enemies that hits my builds. So using that and the Ice Queen, who deals an extra 14% damage to frozen enemies, and using the team perk Slow Your Roll, which freezes enemies whenever they hit me, and using Brain Freeze, whenever a decoy explodes, it freezes enemies in a radius. They all interlink, letting me freeze husks and do more damage to them faster and killing them faster. So notice how all these things kind of interlink and chain together. That's what you should look for. My pirate, Blakebeard. I used the team perk, requires 3 pirates, 1, 2, 3. What it does is that whenever I kill husks, there's a chance that a chest appears. I open up the chest and I get peg legs, which are technically clubs. They're categorized as clubs in melees. So using swap the deck, I increase my club damage. It also gives me coconuts. Using coconuts increases my damage by 16 effect while affected by coconuts. It all plays into the team perk. Okay, so this is my soldier build, right? She has increased pistol damage by 60% and impact by 75% for the first 6 shots in the magazine. Pair that up with any revolver and you have, cowboy loadout almost. Using Locked and Reloaded, after reloading, weapon damage is increased by 15% for 5 seconds. Pistol damage is increased by 75%, specifically critical damage. And pistol damage is increased by 17%. So this, and these 3 pair up with this to make my shots even more powerful. That's how you gotta kind of start thinking a little bit later towards Plankerton when it comes to your team loadout. Challenges. Do this one. If you're new to the game, and this is my final piece of advice to you, do this a lot until you get sick of it. It's only 1,000. I've been playing this game for like 2 years, and I only have 59 play with others. It's not that fun. But if you start it early, you'll be done by it later. Everything else comes naturally. Just keep playing the game. So yeah, if you're just starting out, don't get too overwhelmed. Just play the game, and at some point, once you start asking questions, start researching the game. Alright, goodbye.